we're continuing on with the writing awards here, the second part of the writing awards, and we've got 3 more to knock out here. The storyline, shocking moment of the year, and Smark Out Moment of the year. Storyline of the year, first up. What was the worst storyline that WWE pitched out there and tried to get working, and it just fell flat?
Orton Bryan. It had so much more potential than what it was. Bryan versus the Authority. And I think what killed it was the refresh, because they did that one Raw where they just said, all right, we're done with all the storylines we were doing. Screw it, let's move forward with something new. I think there was so much potential there, and it just it fell flat to what it could have been. My expectations may have been high, but Orton Bryan killed it for me.
I really didn't like the random Shield attacks that happened throughout the year, where the Shield only feuded with people because they attacked a couple random people, and then they went, you know what, random 3-on-3 tag match. They did it with Sheamus and Ryback and Orton and Big Show and John Cena. All these people just got attacked, and then they just had a match at a pay-per-view, and then they switched it again the next time around. And there was no point to it whatsoever. They didn't even bother giving this a storyline, and that's what I think is the biggest offender of them all. They didn't even try, and they were perfectly happy doing it month after month after month after month. Thankfully, the Shield picked up, and they ended up actually having some feuds with people. But damn, if they would have kept that going all along, the Shield would have been garbage.
Yeah, they finally got relevancy when they went to the tag team and U.S. scene.
What's the best storyline that they pulled out this year?
It's got to be Punk Rock. It resonates so much with me. Like, The Rock is a movie star. Punk is a wrestler. Punk has been clearly has made it his point that I'm only doing wrestling. This is what I'm doing. This is my life. I'm here all the time. He took the John Cena Rock feud and actually did what they were trying to do the year before, and made it resonate. And the promos were just amazing. Match itself was good. Promos were amazing.
And instead for WrestleMania, he got what I'm picking my favorite of the year, the Paul Bearer death.
Yeah, that was good too.
How do you take the death of somebody and turn it into a storyline? I mean, this could have been an awkward thing where they just didn't want to mention Paul Bearer because it was right at the time for WrestleMania. But instead, they took the ball, they ran with it, they took... Paul Heyman made him Paul Bearer to try to do that. They took the urn and they had him disrespecting the urn.
Through the ashes.
Built up that fire underneath Undertaker for that storyline. That was perfect. I could not have planned that better. I mean, it's so unfortunate that Paul Bearer had to die. I mean, he, you know, it's not like they did kill him for the storyline or anything like that. Like, it's really, if there would have been any other timing of the year, it would have just been, oh man, this is so sad and it's a shame that this happened and whatever. But then with this, it's like, it's so sad, and they took it and they made a positive out of it.
Yep.
And I'm sure Paul Bearer would have been perfectly fine with it too, because he got killed off a bunch of times on TV and everything like that. And I think that actually might have been a better way of paying tribute to him.
For sure.
By making him, by making the urn, you know, that it used to be symbolic of the Undertaker, and when the Undertaker would go get written off TV, it was like Paul Bearer would come out with the urn, and it would be like, oh, Undertaker's still alive and whatever. And for them to incorporate that and make it kind of seem like, well, Paul Bearer kind of still lives on and all that.
Damn it, Tony. Giving me goose. Like, I'm thinking WrestleMania 20 when he came out with the urn.
Right. Oh, yes!
Fuck.
Paul Bearer's death, you know, whatever writers were in charge of doing that, it's a shame that they can't do that all year long.
Yeah.
Because that was so
well played. Gate made him a real, like, a villain, to the point where, like, people who are like, CM Punk's, come on, dude, that's messed up.
Right.
Where he's kicking around the thing like it's a hacky sack. Oops, dropped it.
That's, and you know what? Kudos to CM Punk, too, for being able to come out of that and not just be like, dude, you're the dick who did that with the urn.
Yeah, he's the face now. Like, he didn't get, like, permanently cast out.
Paul Bearer's death. Definitely what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Alright, shocking moment of the year. The least shocking moment where we all saw it coming from a mile away, and the most shocking moment where we never saw that coming and it floored us. Least shocking moment. What was that thing that you were just like, come on.
Yeah.
You didn't even need to do it.
Cena versus The Rock. we know... Once in a lifetime, Rock won. Cena did the whole... I think the storyline was interesting, how his life fell apart. That was good planning on your part. You normally don't think ahead that far.
I don't think they thought of
No,
it.
it just got lucky.
He
He got a divorce. This is perfect. We'll just run with that.
he ended up doing... He's such a company man. He got a divorce for the storyline.
But we knew he was going to win. If Rock would have won again, we would have been like, all right, well, that actually would have surprised me more. But Cena winning was like, they're obviously having the match so he can get his. Rock's the WWE champion. He's not going to stay past WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. It's just yeah.
Cena wins, LOL.
Yeah.
I'm going with the same thing. The transition from The Rock to CM Punk, that feud, and then CM Punk feuding with John Cena. And even though I gave that best match of the year, it was like, John Cena's going to win. Because he's got to face The Rock at WrestleMania. The Rock has to end up losing to John Cena. As soon as they announced The Rock is going to face the champion at the Royal Rumble, they give you an outline of the whole thing. Rock will win against CM Punk. CM Punk will have a rematch at Elimination Chamber. Cena's going to face The Rock at WrestleMania. Cena's going to beat The Rock. And then he's going to have at least like a couple months title reign.
Yeah.
Exactly to the formula. And, I'm somebody who I do outline kind of stuff like that all the time myself, where I would rather them have done that than to just throw something in the middle of nowhere and have, let's just give it to Tensai, and he's going to do it. I don't like shock for the sake of shock. But at the same time, that was the least shocking thing in the world. And they tried to act like, oh my god, John Cena won the Royal Rumble?
They wanted to...
Yeah.
They could have thrown some spice up into it. Like, Rock could have lost. They could have stuck with the Shield interference. Mm-hmm. And then Rock like, no, you didn't beat me clean. Elimination Chamber, let's go.
Right, that would have been interesting.
And for sake of, interesting, if you wanted to pull one over the fans and still had them entertained, Rock won at WrestleMania and then just came out on Raw the next night and said, I'm done.
Right.
It's happened before with superstars. People lost their smile. Other people got hurt and just vacated it. You could just be like, look, and he actually got hurt, so you'd be like, my ribs are hurt. There you go. Yeah. So it would have caught us all off guard and would have kept it entertaining. But the predictability, like you said, was just
way too predictable.
Yeah.
What do you think was the most shocking moment though of the year?
Cena losing cleanly to both Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. I really thought he was going to squash him. I was like, I remember getting all excited when he won, and then getting really pissed off when Orton came out 2 seconds later. It's not used to a thing that he usually does, where he just he's got to have some kind of Super Cena feat, or he gets screwed to the point where Daniel Bryan won because John Cena broke his foot.
Right, because somebody came out, Big Show got his shotgun and shot
him in the face. And Daniel Bryan wins by Cena can't see.
He counted out to 10 and his fast count, and
I think we're actually seeing a change of the guard, and to me that's a huge shock that Cena is actually all right. Daniel Bryan gets a clean win. All right. Randy Orton's going to get the clean win.
Zack Ryder next one to get a clean win.
Yeah, and even him putting over guys, it's just it's not what we've been seeing previous years, and now he's just kind of like, all right, I've done everything. Let me be Jericho.
That's funny that we both went with The Rock and CM Punk and John Cena thing as that being incredibly predictable, and then you went with Cena losing something as the most shocking, and I went with the CM Punk pile driver on John Cena, which was that match that set up the whole John Cena and The Rock thing. Mm-hmm. When it comes to that match, I give it match of the year, as I said before, but also that pile driver, like best spot of the year, one of the best matches of the year, like that whole thing. I was so shocked with that pile driver. If you would have said to me, they're going to bring back a move that they haven't done in a long time, I would have been like, somebody's going to do the cross-waist chicken wing, or somebody is going to do the mandible claw, or
the cross-face or the flying headbutt.
Anything like that. The very last move I ever would have thought that I would have seen would have been a pile driver, because that was banned.
Yeah.
They said, you will not do pile drivers. It doesn't matter if you're Jerry the King Lawler, but that's your whole fucking move. You got to figure something else out. You could be somebody like Shawn Michaels, or you could be an Undertaker. You will only do the tombstone if we know that you can do the tombstone, and that is it.
Yeah.
So you have about 3-4 people that can do a tombstone, and a normal pile driver for Funk to just hit that, and he hits it on Raw too. Never would have seen that coming. A million years, you never would have gotten me to say that.
And I think an honorable mention for shocking moment of the year is Chris Benoit's leg made it to a promo. After years of distancing themselves, Chris Benoit's leg was on the TLC promo video with Randy Orton pinning him.
It wasn't blurred out.
It's all work. He's coming back.
the best and the worst Smark Out Moment of the year. And if you don't know what this necessarily translates to, it's that moment that makes you jump out as a fan and either hate the fact that you're a wrestling fan, or in the case of best one, makes you go and turn into that little kid that used to watch that would believe that it was real and just get super excited about it and make you, rejuvenate your being a fan of wrestling.
If you need an example, watch the Royal Rumble where Kevin Nash returned as Diesel and Matt Striker goes batshit crazy.
He goes, I'm marking out, bro. It's a mark out moment. So the worst Smark Out moment of the year, what's the thing that kind of made you want to quit wrestling?
Triple H and Lesnar, their feud was so exhausting that, like, why did Triple H have to be the guy that goes against him, and why did he have to get a win? You're building a monster, and just being at WrestleMania and watching that match was like, wow. The only good thing about that match was Lesnar's scream.
It's going to be the best Smark Out moment of the year. Honorable mention to the Total Divas trash talking segment in July, which was so bad that on the Raw post show we all just ended up spending the whole time talking about how terrible that was. I had a duo that I ended up merging together because they were on the same episode of Raw. The 3/11/2013, obviously, promos between Del Rio mocking Zeb Coulter. Del Rio and Ricardo mocking Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger, I should say.
Riho.
And the Brad Maddox Intercontinental match segment promo that they had done.
Oh, God.
Both of those were so terrible on that episode. And that actually also included a good section of the Paul Bearer thing.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you that they can pull it off, but when they don't pull it off, whew, man,
The whole Jericho thing. I had a screen when I started.
Those you want to watch a terrible set of promos, you go watch that episode of Raw. That was so bad.
Ooh.
So terrible.
Yep.
Positive side of things, though, a little bit more optimistic. What was the best Smark Out moment of the year?
Probably when Daniel Bryan won the WWE title. I really didn't think he was going to. It caught me, and he won cleanly. Like I said, that to me is huge because we've seen little guys go against Cena, and it's just you expected Cena just to plow through him, and it just I went nuts. I think I was holding the cable wire because that's we're having cable problems here in the basement. And I let go. I was like, yeah, I won! Yes! And then I hear a voice. No. Fuck.
Mark Henry's fake retirement.
Oh, that was.
That was so awesome. I mean, that was one of those situations where they pulled that out of nowhere. They just Mark Henry's going to retire tonight. We were like, wait, what? No, this has to be a storyline.
That's where
it has to be a storyline.
They played off the internet. That was good.
And midway through that, I'm sitting there going, this is real. He's going to retire. Holy shit. And, the fans are clapping. They're going, one more match. Thank you, Henry. Also, the whole arena buys it. I'm buying it. I'm talking to people online. We're all just going, that sucks, man. Mark Henry's got to retire. Mark Henry's awesome. Well, he had a good career, and everybody got sucked into it. And then he picks up John Cena, gives him the World's Strongest Slam, starts yelling out, I got more left in the tank and all that. Instantly was just like, oh, fuck yes. That was...
I remember that. That's a good choice, man.
That was the best instance I could think of them sucking me in the way that they completely intended to.
Yep.
They want you to cheer for Daniel Bryan when he wins the title, and you cheer for Daniel Bryan when he wins the title. They want you to boo somebody like a Randy Orton, and I'm not going to boo him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of like Randy Orton. And they try to do this all other stuff, and they try to make you go, oh, that's such a heinous act that he punted the Big Show or whatever, and I don't care. It's like, you walk into it going, well, Big Show's got to lose this match. And you're not supposed to. You're supposed to buy into the little storyline and all that. That fake retirement, though,
that was good.
They got me.
They played the internet. Because the internet was like, oh, Henry got injured again. They're saying this is the end of the road. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know what? Go out there and say it's the end of the road. And then fuck Cena up.
I'm sitting there writing up a report for Smark Out Moment about, Mark Henry finally retiring after all these years. He had such a good run lately and all this. And they hook, line, and sinker. They got me.
And I wanted him to win.
Right.
I wanted him to win.
So Mark Henry's fake retirement. And Mark Henry, he deserves the credit for that, too.
Yes.
Because he sold that.
Sold it.
He's crying. Oh, man, that was so good. People need to watch that and find out like that's what you need to do as a wrestler. You need to hook the crowd like that.
Yeah.
Kudos to Mark Henry.
And it was actually the beginning of his Rick Ross turn. So Mark Henry retired, Rick Ross debuted.